Historic and shocking attack was made in Kiev last night, but not the kind of history the world hoped for. In a shocking escalation, Russian missiles and drones struck Ukraine's capital, severely damaging the British Council building, a cultural and diplomatic symbol of the United Kingdom. This strike is more than just another attack. It signals a dangerous turn in the war, one that could pull wider Europe even closer to the brink of confrontation with Moscow. Kiev was rocked by one of the heaviest bombardments in months. Dozens of missiles, including advanced hypersonic weapons, rained down on the city. Civilian neighborhoods were hit, but the most symbolic damage was to the British Council offices and the EU delegation building nearby. Both the UK and EU confirmed there were no staff casualties, but, make no mistake, this was a direct strike on Western presence in Ukraine. Now, why is this different from other strikes? The British Council is not a military base. It represents Britain's cultural influence, education, and diplomacy. By hitting it, Moscow is sending a chilling message: no Western footprint in Ukraine is off limits. For London, this is a red line. For Brussels, it's a warning shot. And for Kiev, it's yet another reminder that Russia is expanding its target list far beyond the battlefield. In London, the Foreign Secretary summoned Russia's ambassador in a rare and hostile diplomatic move. EU leaders immediately discussed fresh sanctions and possibly accelerated arms deliveries. There are also renewed calls to bolster Ukraine's skies with Patriot and SAM-T systems, and yes, whispers in policy circles of limited NATO air policing missions over western Ukraine. While politically risky, this idea is now back on the table. So does this bring Europe closer to direct war with Russia? Not immediately. This was not an attack on NATO soil. Article 5 is not in play. But here's the danger. 1. Sanctions retaliation. If Europe goes harder on Russian banks or seizes frozen assets, expect cyber attacks or energy blackmail in return. 2. Military spillover. More Ukrainian long-range strikes deep into Russia could trigger unpredictable counter moves, possibly in the Black Sea or near NATO borders. 3. Accidental confrontation with NATO surveillance planes and Russian fighters operating in tight proximity. One wrong move could ignite a broader crisis. Russia's strike on the British Council will not scare Europe away. In fact, it is more likely to unite London and Brussels behind Ukraine, with more weapons, more funding, and more diplomatic isolation for Moscow. But with every escalation, the margin for error shrinks. The war is no longer just about Ukraine's borders. It's testing the security architecture of all Europe. Make no mistake, last night's attack was not only about Kiev. It was about Europe's future and ATO's resolve. Putin and Russia seem to be towing the parts of Hitler, and this is a dangerous path toward a wider war. We'll continue to follow this story closely and bring you updates. What do you think? Is Europe being dragged into this war step by step, or will cooler heads pull back from the edge? Let us know in the comments. I'm Sarah. Stay safe, stay informed.